I've got some very, very sad news to deliver to you guys this morning. Actually, I have two pieces of sad news, but we're going to start here in the major crimes division. I received a startling update this morning from the Daily Beast. Now, for those that are unfamiliar, the Daily Beast, it is one of the many mainstream media outlets that are committed to fighting the good fight. They are committed to spreading the good word, preaching the faith to all those normal people who are lost. The update I received, it was from Brother William Valancourt. He prefers to be called Brother Willie. Brother Willie, he's one of the few people remaining who still watch CNN. Most people, we moved on from CNN years ago, maybe even decades ago, but our good brother, he continues watching, hoping to keep the network alive. Yesterday, CNN national correspondent Ryan Young, he gave dozens of viewers an update on the boycott of Bud Light. Now, Mr. Young, he took to the streets to interview normal people, asking their reactions to Bud Light's failed marriage to Dylan Mulvaney. Now, before we go any further, I've got to point this out. Even though the name Ryan Young sounds like the most Caucasian name you can have, Mr. Young, he identifies as a black man. Now, that is important to note here because a couple of years ago, the Daily Beast, they joined the rest of the mainstream media in their fight against mythical racism, the same fight that claimed all black men are victims. Now, Brother Willie, he's from the Daily Beast. He officially charges Ryan Young with the crime of misgendering. You are not going to believe this! Headline at the Daily Beast. CNN misgenders Dylan Mulvaney in cringe segment on Bud Light boycott. Now, some of you might be wondering, Casey, what the hell does misgendering mean? Fortunately, Brother Willie, he was very, very thorough in his indictment explaining the crime of misgendering. During the segment, Ryan Young, he was talking about Dylan Mulvaney, and he referred to Dylan Mulvaney using he, him pronouns. Now, as longtime followers of this channel already know, misgendering is a serious, serious crime. At minimum, the crime is punishable by cucumber insertion. In some extreme cases, I've heard the deacons have forced perpetrators into cucumber removal, where they experience what it feels like to go from he, him pronouns to she, her pronouns. But like I said, this heinous crime of misgendering, that is not the only sad news I have to deliver to you guys this morning. Unfortunately, this next story is heartbreaking. Now, I'm sure some of the women in this audience, they are going to be fighting tears once they hear about this. Hell, some of the men in this audience, they might be fighting back tears. My heart ached when I received the news earlier this morning. One of the true American patriots has decided to leave America. This person is a hero, the true definition of courageous. They have sacrificed their privacy to give us a glimpse as to what it's like to transition from male to female. Although, it is unknown whether they've actually fully transitioned. We don't know if they have completed the full process yet, but that's really beside the point. It doesn't matter if they're medically considered a female. The only thing that matters is they choose to identify as female. And as worshipers of the woke oak tree, we must honor their identity. I received the devastating news earlier this morning that Bob Dylan Mulvaney has left America. I'm going to give you guys a moment to gather your emotions. I know, this is painful. I know many of you are heartbroken. I'm going to do my best to answer all your questions. Who will be our next object of worship? Who will teach our women how to properly apply makeup? Who will be the next face of Maybelline? Who will demonstrate to all our men pretending to be women how to eloquently drink beer? The departure of Dylan Mulvaney is a huge loss for American culture, but whenever I am given bad news, I always try to find the silver lining. I always try to find the positive in a negative situation. My inside sources are telling me this departure from the motherland by Bobby D, it's only temporary. My sources, they are calling this a sabbatical. As you guys know, past few months, they have been extremely difficult for our Lord and risen Queen. After the disastrous response to Bud Light, those endorsement deals have started to dry up. Our queen has been subjected to horrific transphobia on social media. Like we discussed earlier, even mainstream media outlets like CNN, they are committing the heinous crime of misgendering. The Queen of Maybelline just needed a little bit of time away. Over the last 3 months, Dylan Mulvaney has been sporadic with posting videos to social media. Over the last year, we couldn't go a full 24 hours without being exposed to the transition journey of Bobby D. Hey, it's me, Bobby D. It's day 33, the day I utilized the Mach 3 to eliminate those pesky facial whiskers. I know all of my waitresses working at Cracker Barrel are excited to learn this process. Yesterday, Dylan Mulvaney gave us a highly anticipated update. Young people confused about their gender. They have been lost these past few months. Without the direction provided by Dylan Mulvaney, they haven't had the motivation to seek out the critical gender-affirming care that they think they need. As it turns out, Dylan has left the dangerous streets of America to embark on a path of self-discovery in Peru. Now, when you're on a path of self-discovery, it is critical to find a place that's safe and secure, especially if you're an identifier. There are many places around the world that are very, very hostile towards the LGBT community. Places like Peru. Yet for some reason, Dylan Mulvaney believes that Peru is safer than America for the identifiers. Normally, I would edit clips like this for time, but I'm going to play this clip in full. I want you to see the full context because something is either seriously off here or Dylan Mulvaney is just exaggerating a gimmick. Watch for yourself.
Hi, is this an okay time? Okay, surprise! I'm in Peru, and I'm at Machu Picchu. Isn't this just so beautiful? I'm here by myself, and I used to do a ton of solo traveling. I'm telling you, it's the best. If you could ever do a solo trip somewhere, it is such a good way to get to know yourself better. But I came here to feel something, you know what I mean? And I definitely have. I've done shaman ceremonies that were like 10 years worth of therapy. It was wild. I've seen a lot of llamas, and the people here are so kind. I feel very safe here. It's a little sad that I had to leave my country to feel safe, but that will get better eventually. And I am dying for some Trader Joe's rolled chili lime chips. But other than that, I am so content. Still haven't been kissed yet, but I'm holding out hope. And most of all, you know, this trip has me feeling like I'm my own best friend again. And that is the best feeling in the world. And I hope that you feel that way about yourself too. And I love ya. Okay. Bye.
Look, I am not a trained psychiatrist. I know absolutely nothing about mental health, and I'm not saying there's anything mentally wrong with Dylan Mulvaney, but does this behavior seem like normal behavior to you? Hi, is this an okay time? You're not calling me on the phone. You're not interrupting a meeting. You're posting a video on TokTik. If it's not an okay time, I'm not going to press play. Over the last few weeks, we have seen Dylan Mulvaney amplify the role of the victim. A couple of weeks ago, Dylan uploaded a painfully boring video to Instagram claiming to be the biggest victim in this boycott of Bud Light. That's right. The hundreds, possibly even thousands of people that have lost their jobs through no fault of their own, those people are not the victims. Dylan Mulvaney is the victim. And now, we have Bobby D playing the victim again. It's so sad. Oh, it's so sad that I had to leave my own country just to feel safe. You mean to tell me, as a transgender woman, you feel safe in Peru? Now, I'm not too familiar with Peru, but one of my good friends, he lived in Peru for a couple of years. Through talking to him and the little bit of research I did myself, I found out that Peru is a predominantly Catholic country. The population is religious, socially conservative. Matter of fact, several websites claim that openly gay behavior is not tolerated throughout most of Peru. So, how accepting do you think Peruvians are going to be towards someone like Dylan Mulvaney? Are you seeing where I'm going here? Dylan Mulvaney is full of shit. Did you notice? Dylan Mulvaney was not filming in the streets of a major Peruvian city. Did you notice that? Dylan went all the way out to the wilderness to manipulate people into thinking Peru is safer than America. Hey guys, it's me, Dylan. I feel so safe here in Peru. This trip is amazing. I'm still waiting to be kissed, but I'm sure it will happen sooner or later. I have my doubts. That ain't happening in Peru. This is all a gimmick. This is a cry for attention. Dylan Mulvaney has been hanging in the shadows because of all the backlash towards Bud Light. When you're accustomed to receiving attention on a daily basis, it is a shock to the system when that attention is taken away from you. Dylan Mulvaney wants young people to believe that America is not safe for them. Dylan is pretending to be the victim of confinement because it's too dangerous to be seen in public here in America. For some reason, Dylan Mulvaney was able to overcome those fears to attend the 2023 Them Now Awards. KC, what the hell's the Pronoun Awards? The Pronoun Awards, they are held every year to honor 12 inspiring letters. Not only was Dylan Mulvaney photographed at the show, not only was Dylan Mulvaney in attendance, Dylan was one of the keynote speakers. If America's so dangerous, if you're so afraid to be seen publicly, why would you attend an award show? Doesn't get more public than that. Now, to be fair, the Pronoun Awards, they're not exactly mainstream. The ceremony was held inside the conference room of a hotel. There were more people in the damn pool than there were attending this awards show. But still, if Dylan Mulvaney's so afraid, why would you attend this show? Recently, Dylan Mulvaney told Rosie O'Donnell, "The reason I'm such an easy target is because I'm so new at this. It's harder to attack a transgender woman who has been in the public spotlight for decades." This could not be further from the truth. The reason Dylan Mulvaney is so heavily criticized, people don't believe you're authentic. You portray yourself as a gimmick. Your videos come off as mocking women. Caitlyn Jenner is a transgender woman. Guess who attacks Caitlyn Jenner? It ain't normal people, it's the shit fucks. They attack her because she refuses to comply with the bullshit. Most normal people have no problem with Caitlyn Jenner. Normal people have a problem with Dylan Mulvaney because there is no authenticity. I really do feel bad for Dylan Mulvaney. If you take away all the transgender stuff and just look at Dylan Mulvaney as a human being, this is a person who seems absolutely lost. I don't think Dylan Mulvaney knows who Dylan Mulvaney is. This is someone who was thrust into the national spotlight, literally an overnight celebrity, going through a personal journey that you would think you'd want to go through privately. Millions of dollars start pouring in. You become accustomed to this luxurious lifestyle, but the problem is, it's not sustainable. Dylan Mulvaney is not rich because of talent. Dylan Mulvaney is not rich because of business. Dylan Mulvaney became rich and famous because of a gimmick. I don't think Dylan Mulvaney can separate the gimmick from the person. Like I told you guys before, Dylan Mulvaney is being used. And once that usefulness runs out or some other transgender star takes over, what happens to Dylan Mulvaney? This is literally a case of the blind leading the blind. Dylan Mulvaney is actually idolized by millions of kids across America. And that's my biggest problem with Dylan Mulvaney, but give me your thoughts. Dylan Mulvaney leaves America claiming it's no longer safe for the LGBT and travels to Peru, a country that is definitely intolerant towards the LGBT. Doesn't make any sense to me, but what the hell do I know? I'm not a shit fuck. Let me know what you think. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.